Environmental Quality Committee's last speaker series of 2025. This is the April 28th speaker series. We hosted one in January, February, and March. The speaker series that have recordings available should be posted on our new website soon. The city just transitioned to a new website, and so not everything is quite up there yet. But we appreciate everybody transitioning to the virtual format today due to the forecasted severe weather, which I think some people got, but fortunately wasn't as bad for us here. So we are excited to welcome two speakers tonight, Megan and Tom. Megan is from the Partners in Energy program, and Tom is from Xcel Energy. I will let them introduce themselves as they each do their portion of the presentation. So I would ask that everybody go ahead and turn your microphone off so that we don't have any audio issues. And you're welcome to keep your camera on if you want to. And I think if we have questions, the best way to put those would be to put those in the chat. I can keep an eye on those. As you have questions, you can put them in throughout the presentation. We don't have to wait until the end. So thanks for joining us, and I will turn it over to Megan.
Great, thank you so much, Krista, and good evening, everyone. Glad we could join virtually amongst this weather tonight. Like Krista said, my name is Megan Weck. I'm a Partners in Energy community facilitator and have been working with the city of Shoreview and Krista. I recognize some faces here of folks who are on the Energy Action team last year, maybe it was even the year before. And then we have written an Energy Action plan and then are implementing that plan now. And so excited to share some information about residential programs tonight that are offered through Xcel Energy. And these programs that we're going to be talking about tonight a lot of them are programs we hope to promote and share throughout the community during implementation. So as I'm going through this, if you guys have questions for personal interest or thoughts about, what audiences or ways we can get this information out to the community, I'd love to hear that too at the end. But I'm going to share my screen. We have a presentation. And I think just to start out, I'd love for you all to share in the chat your answers to these two questions. So I'm curious what you are interested in learning more about when it comes to residential energy efficiency and renewable energy. It could be something in general, it could be high level, it could be specific. And then if you know of utility energy programs, maybe you already participate in one, I'd love to hear what one that is. So we'll just give a few minutes for folks to pop your answers into the chat. These two questions. So the chat should be a button at the very top. You click on it, should show up on the sidebar on the right, and I think you can type in there. Learn more about heat pump clothes dryers. Definitely information on the website on those. Let's see. EV charging station. And eventually solar panels when we remove trees. Nice. Someone's participated in an attic insulation rebate program. Awesome. Interested in geothermal and solar. We've got somebody in Renewable Connect Flex. We'll talk about that. And got solar. somebody was in an Xcel renewable energy program and then installed rooftop solar instead and are in solar rewards. Very cool. We'll go over that. Interested in learning how to be more environmentally conscious while saving money. Solar incentives. Whoa, a water smart toilet and attic insulation rebates. A water smart toilet. Wow, you'll have to share more about that. Very cool. Thanks everyone for sharing. That's helpful. All right, so it seems like a lot of you are familiar with this, participating in these Xcel Energy programs already. But if you didn't know, obviously, Xcel Energy offers utility programs that help residents become more energy efficient and support renewable energy. So these programs are delivered as part of the ECO Act, or the Energy Conservation and Optimization Act, which is overseen by the Department of Commerce. And anything that I'm going to share with you all today can really be easily accessed online on the Xcel Energy website. It's just xcelenergy.com. So check that out afterwards. And we can always follow up with any other detailed questions you might have that I can't answer tonight. So the types of programs that Xcel Energy has, these are kind of the buckets that we talk about them in. For residential, we can start with a home assessment. That's usually the first place we point people towards because it provides information on opportunities for what needs to happen in the house. So we get a review of your house and understand where you're using your energy, and then seeing where the gaps might be that need projects or ideas for program participation. There's equipment rebates. So that's just rebates for high efficiency equipment that you might help reduce the upfront costs, something like a more high efficiency furnace or water heater. Those cost money, obviously, so just getting the cost down with some rebates. On the front end, there's building and remodeling programs. So those programs provide guidance mostly to the builders to support an energy efficient building. And the savings go to the builder. Then we have the demand management and rate option programs. So those are just going to help reduce the demand on the grid when it is at its highest. Obviously, in the hottest of summer days and the coldest of winter days, these programs are going to help offset the demand on the grid that you can opt into, and that helps reduce your bills. And usually is provided an incentive as well. And then we have renewable energy. These programs, sounds like a lot of folks on here are already participating in those. Some you don't need any equipment and you can just sign up. And then others are installations like solar panels. And then there's some electric vehicle programs. Mostly those are different rate options and the ability to rent a charger. So we'll go in more detail, but these are kind of the big buckets that Xcel Energy offers. So to start out with some popular programs, and again, the programs that we're really going to be promoting here in Shoreview, I'd like to pass it over to Tom, who is with Xcel Energy and the program manager for Home Energy Squad, to share about Home Energy Squad.
Thanks, Megan. Yeah, great to be here. I'll kind of hit the high points of the Home Energy Squad, and if you folks have questions, I would be happy to answer them. And if I cannot answer them online tonight, I'll circle back and get the answers probably to Krista. Would that be the point of contact? Or I think so. Yeah, I am Tom Sagstetter. I'm with Xcel Energy. I have been here for just over 2 months. And so I'm relatively new to Home Energy Squad, but I have about 27 years working with utilities. I've worked with Xcel Energy. I worked with them decades ago on the gas side, moved over to Great River Energy, also worked at Elk River Municipal Utilities, and then I came back to the Promised Land with Xcel Energy. So that's a little of my history. So I'm managing the Home Energy Squad and the weatherization programs. and the home energy audit program. There's really multiple tiers. You have the audit, and then you have the home energy squad, which actually does a direct install for the easier energy saving measures like LED lights and things like that. Faucet aerators, they will go through and take a look at your house after they've done the assessment and pick off the low hanging fruit, and they will install those measures for the residential customer. And it's available to single family homes and buildings that have less than 4 units in it, dwellings in it. And there we talk about, the free pre-visit virtual consultation to try and identify where you're using energy or wasting energy and how you might be able to do it. And then you have the saver visit, which is installing the light bulbs, programmable thermostats, and the high efficient fixtures, shower heads, aerators. They used to be called low flow, but now we have to call them high efficient because as soon as you say low flow, everybody says, oh, wait, I'm going to leave shampoo in my hair. So, or my dishes aren't going to get clean. So we have to call them efficient. And when I was at Elk River, I spent a lot of time doing water rebates because we were a municipal water utility. And so that is a good change. But there is a cost to the customers for the energy saver visit, and that's $70. Many times communities will offer deals, as do we, to try and spur people to do that. So always keep your eye on the website or talk to the city. They may be offering a buy down. So that's always a big bonus. And many times the cities will actually put them on their web pages as well. Then you have the little bit more robust planner visit. And with the planner visit, you get everything you get with the saver visit, but you get a more in-depth deep dive. They'll do a blower door, which that basically simulates, is it a 30 mile an hour or 50 mile an hour breeze against the side of your house. So it basically pressurizes your house and will show where air is leaking in. It's a big vacuum blower door. They set up a big curtain in your front door and they suck all the air out, and all of the cold air from outside will come in. And then they run around with a thermal imaging tool that shows you where all of the leaks are coming in, around your windows, around your attic hatch, under your doors. Sometimes it might be around dryer vents. Any place where you have a penetration in the exterior envelope is really ripe for air infiltration or exfiltration, depending upon the year or the time of year. And so that's what that blower door does. And then you'll get kind of a score, and it'll tell you how many air changes per hour your house is getting. And you can kind of gauge from that how leaky your house is or how tight your house is. So I just had an audit done on my house last Monday. So it was great. And I just had my furnace guy here today. They were able to identify that I had some corrosion in my furnace and I had some water leaking. I had a bad gasket in my furnace. So they were able to identify that. So I'm in the process of getting that fixed. And then they did identify some problem spots in my building envelope, which I already kind of knew about, but it was good to see the imagery of the cold air seeping in. And if you walk around with the auditor when they're doing that, it's great. You can see it. And if you can't, if you're like working or something and you don't have time, they send you great reports that in those reports, they highlight, the things that you need to fix. The rim joists, the weather stripping around your doors, the attic hatch, all of those big ticket items, and they have great color photos that remind you of where the air is to point you in the right spot. So that you get all of that for $100, and it's a pretty good deal. I think the retail value for those are about $650. So it's a good program. It's a good value. Plus, you get the install of all of the energy saving measures that are available if you don't already have them. I suspect this crew probably has a good number of LEDs already. You guys are pretty on top of it, but they may identify, like some T12s that you have in your garage over your workbench that you've just forgot about for the last decade or so. Don't use them much, but those are kind of some of the things that sneak up on people. Yeah, and they'll also hit on other rebates that are available. So if you wanted to do a heat pump water heater or a regular heat pump or a ductless, a mini split, something like that, they would review the rebate programs for those. It was kind of cool to hear about the heat pump dryer. I hadn't heard of that one, so that's kind of, I made a note on that one, so thank you for that. And then for folks in your community that meet eligibility requirements, they could be eligible for these services at no cost. That's one of the big programs that we do. We work with local providers. CEE is one of those, and we also work with other organizations around the state to deliver this to all income eligible customers. So if you could go to the next slide, please, Megan.
And Tom, how long do the audits typically take?
Depending upon the size of the house, they usually schedule 2 to 4 hours. So this, I just put this in here for Xcel Energy. Really kind of the threshold for the income eligible customers are between 50 and 80% of the area median income. Some of those numbers have changed and they're designated by county. I kind of took a screenshot from this web link of what is applicable to the Shoreview community. You're kind of lumped in under Minneapolis, St. Paul, Bloomington. I dug around, but it's kind of like the 7-12 county metro area. They all fit into that bucket. So for persons that meet the eligibility requirements on that website, they could get the services for free. And again, that's another one of the great services that CEE provides for us as a partner with us, is they do all of this verification and all of that. So if you have a resident that doesn't want to talk to you about their income level, you can send them to the registration website, and they can click on the right links and get to the people that can help them and get them qualified if they don't know, or identify if they're qualified or not. You folks can stay out of the loop, and we stay away from that sensitive information too, and we let our partners handle that process for us. So it works great for everybody. We don't. It's not liking you, or did I freeze up? So, okay, thank you. Yeah, these are some of the services that the income eligible folks will get. Weatherization, air sealing. Sometimes if they're running an avocado green refrigerator in their kitchen, they may be eligible for a free upgrade on that to get that off the system. And all of these programs are a direct replacement. It's not like they're going to be able to move that piece of equipment out to the garage or the front porch and keep it. Anything that's replaced is removed. So we're getting those old inefficient appliances off the grid. They'll also take a good hard look at the heating system and air conditioning systems. Sometimes they may be eligible for replacements on that. And in your area, we provide both natural gas and electric, but in other communities, we partner with CenterPoint Energy, and they pick up the gas side and help out there. So utilities come together to help provide great services for the at-risk populations in your city. One note, yeah, we should hit on that for rental properties with 4 or less units. We do ask that the landlords contribute 50% to all of the qualified costs for that. And the consultation services are free to the residents. And hopefully, after we are done with the audit and the education, then they hopefully will participate in other opportunities, rebates through the utility. So I think that's all I have. If you have questions, I would be happy to answer them now. Or if something comes to you, reach out to Krista and she can track me down if anybody's shy.
Not seeing any more in the chat right now, but yeah, let us know if you have any questions. We can keep moving along here. Thanks, Tom. So yeah, I'll just go through some highlights again of these programs and rebates. So starting out here with rebates for heating and cooling and water heating. So again, this is saying you're going to use an old piece of equipment and upgrade to a more efficient piece of equipment. You'll get a rebate for that from the utility. So this could be air conditioners, furnaces, water heaters, and then new in 2024 was a rebate for air source heat pumps. So that's what this photo is right here. It's a more efficient way to heat and cool your home in one system. In Minnesota, we would want to get a cold climate air source heat pump, and then you want to have a secondary system for the coldest of winter days. Usually that's a natural gas furnace, but most of the time you'd be able to use an air source heat pump, and it's just a way more energy efficient way to heat and cool your home. So that's a new one. And then we also have some for water heaters. There's also heat pump water heaters and electric water heaters too. So if you're interested in electrifying your home, those are good routes to go to get those big pieces electrified. And then yeah, these rebates will be recommendations during a home energy squad visit if they find that the age or the age of your equipment is old and needs to be replaced, or for some reason it's not working the best. Following along on kind of the electrification route, there are new electric outdoor equipment rebates, which are really fun to have, and then also a panel upgrade if needed. So there's rebates for lawnmowers, electric lawnmowers, trimmers, edgers, and leaf blowers, and then even electric snow blowers. So even on the winter side, you purchase your equipment and then submit a rebate application to the utility, and then you get that money back. And then if you are investing a lot in your home in some energy efficient and electrical upgrades, you might want to check out your electrical panel and make sure that it can handle the additional electricity. So there are rebates for a panel upgrade. You just need to have a licensed electrician install the panel, and then you'd submit a rebate application. I'm seeing a question in the chat that said, how much are the rebates? They vary quite a bit depending on the equipment. But with an air source heat pump, we have said they're estimated around about $14,000. And there's a $2,000 rebate or something like that. So that can be really high. Something like outdoor yard equipment, it's like a lawnmower, I want to say it's like $30. So really wide range depending on the price of the equipment. But yeah, we can put a link. Looks like there's a link in the chat there to the website to see really what the rebates are. Along the same route here, so thinking of the heating side of things, again, you do ensure you get natural gas from Xcel Energy, so you can get insulation rebates through Xcel Energy for air sealing and attic or wall insulation. You just have to work with a qualified contractor, which is on the Xcel Energy website. And then again, it's a recommended action during a home energy squad visit if they find that that is where the opportunity lies. So this program is called the Refrigerator Recycling Program. And this one is really handy and a good incentive, I think, for promoting to residents who have a really old working refrigerator or freezer that they're looking to get rid of. Maybe it's the old beer fridge or a fridge you had from, grandparents or something that kind of used for things that are not in your kitchen. That really does use a lot of electricity. And so we want to incentivize folks to get those old, inefficient equipment out of their home. And so if you participate in this program, Xcel Energy will actually come to your house and remove, remove the refrigerator or freezer, and then also give you a $50 rebate for doing so. And so they'll recycle it for you, take it out of your house, and you get, there's no cost to participate. And then they also will take dehumidifiers or room or window AC units if the contractor is already there to pick up a fridge. You don't get an additional incentive for these, but you get them out of your house and you don't have to be the ones to do it. So what do they consider as old? That's a good question. I think it's basically any refrigerator that you would like to get out of your home and replace. I don't know, Tom, if you know the age, but I could look into that.
Yeah, I don't know if there is anything for them to take it. I know there's a difference in what we claim for energy savings. Sorry, getting technical on you.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it's usually it has to be that like secondary refrigerator. It's not going to be a like, oh, my fridge in my kitchen broke and I need a new one. It has to be a working secondary one. So we can follow up on that. Another program is the the Xcel Energy Home Lighting Program. This one is really just discounted LEDs that are Energy Star rated. You can find them at local retailers, so Home Depot, Costco, Dollar Tree. If you want to look up where those are located, you can go to the website there, xcelenergy.com/lighting deals, and figure out where they are. And then there should just be a little symbol on the package itself. And that's how you're able to just get the discount right then and there when you buy it. So Energy Star LEDs save about $55 in electricity costs over their lifetime compared to traditional incandescent bulbs, and they last at least 13 years. So longer lifetime and less energy used while you're running them on. So nice discount to get just while you're shopping. This program, the Residential Smart Thermostat and AC Rewards Program. So first, it offers rebates for a smart thermostat. So if you want to get upgraded to a smart thermostat that is connected to Wi-Fi, you can connect it to your phone and monitor and change the temperature in your home via your phone, which is super handy. They'll give you a rebate for that. And then you can also enroll in AC Rewards, which is a program that helps manage peaks when electricity use is the highest. So earlier when I was talking about the demand on the grid, this is going to be happening on the hottest of summer days. Xcel Energy will make a adjustment to your smart thermostat through your Wi-Fi and usually just turns it back a few degrees to help just lower the amount of electricity needed during the hottest days. If you sign up for this, you get an enrollment bonus of $75 and then an annual bill credit of $25 for each year that you're enrolled. You can always override the system. So if if you end up not liking the program and it seems like it's not working for you, you can adjust your thermostat. You just won't get that annual bill credit. But from folks who have participated in this, usually you don't even notice the temperature change, and you're just really able to help out the whole grid. This is also a recommended action during a home energy squad visit. Lots of times folks have programmable, and then you can get discounts on a smart thermostat after an HES visit. Oh, thanks, Tom. So it looks like refrigerators for the refrigerator recycling must be manufactured in 2021 or earlier. Thank you for that.
Glad to help.
Yeah. And then on the building and remodeling side, so there is one program for the residential new home construction. This is the Efficient New Home Construction Program. This is going to provide incentives for builders to build homes that exceed local energy code and baseline requirements by 10%. So the savings come from the fact that you are building a more energy efficient house than maybe is mandated by code in your area. So you can see that, you know, the energy savings would vary greatly based on the size and the type of the home that you are building. But it is a really great way for Shoreview to claim those energy savings from what might have been built as a, you know, a non-energy efficient home. And then obviously the participation has to happen really early in the design process. It can't happen, you know, after the home has been built, but early on. So we're going to work with the builder on that, and they can enroll in the program. So those are a few of the energy efficiency programs. There are a lot more offered by Xcel Energy, but those are the main ones that we see folks really liking to participate in, the ones that are a little bit easier to describe. But there are a lot of different ones that we can link to on the website as well. So looking at renewable energy programs, sounds like this group is already participating in some of these. So there are options for on-site programs and then subscription programs. With the on-site programs, that's going to be putting a solar array on your property, on your home. And you can enroll in one of two programs through the utility when you do that. Solar Rewards is going to be a program where you install the solar panels and then you generate some or all of the electricity that your home uses. And then if you generate more, you can sell what your home doesn't need back to Xcel Energy. And then the annual payments from Xcel Energy are made based on the amount of electricity that your system produces. So you can get the money back from that. With net metering, this is also on-site solar. And you generate some or all of the electricity your home uses. You can interview third-party installers to help make your decision which company to use and to choose for the on-site solar installation. But with net metering, you can still sell the excess energy you produce back to Xcel Energy, but there's no incentive for all the electricity produced. And then you keep the renewable energy credits. So net metering is a program for residents who really want to claim those renewable energy credits or RECs. Solar Rewards, that's just saying, hey, I'd rather take the incentive. Utility, you can keep the RECs, the renewable energy credits. With the subscription programs, this is available to renters and homeowners. So you don't need any installation for these systems, and usually they're a combination, could be just solar or a combination of wind and solar. The first is Renewable Connect Flex. So this is a program where you can subscribe to get some or all of the electricity that your home uses to be powered by renewables, and it costs about $1 to $10 extra a month on your bill. You can do it by, like, let's say I want 50% of my house to be powered or 100%, and you can see what that might end up being on your bill. But basically, you're just supporting utility scale wind and solar with Renewable Connect Flex. Really easy. You just go up online and sign up, and then you can say that your home is powered with renewables. So this is a really good option for renters. I think businesses like to do it too, sharing with the community that, kind of environmentally friendly, trying to reduce your greenhouse gas emissions by using renewables for electricity. And then Solar Rewards Community, this is just going to be your community solar garden. So this is interviewing a third-party company that has a community solar garden that you subscribe to, and you pay a certain amount of money each month to claim that you are supporting the solar array, and then sometimes you can get money back depending on if the community solar garden makes more energy than the community uses. But with a community solar garden, you cannot claim the RECs. So if it's important to you to claim the RECs, Renewable Connect Flex is a good one for that. Looks like we have a question in the chat. Let's see. Does Shoreview have anything in place for residential wind power? Are there restrictions for wind? Krista, do you know?
I can't think of any wind facilities in Shoreview. That would be a question I would have to reach out to the community development department to see what is allowed in code. So they are the ones who work on that part of it. So I would have to check with them. So I'm happy to get back to you, and you can send me an email, or I can get your email address to get back to you later.
Awesome. And then let's see. Can you add solar and wind to solar rewards if you generate more power than needed? So solar rewards would just be solar, there's no residential scale wind program. But if you do generate more power than needed, yes, with solar rewards, you can sell that back to the utility and get money. I don't know if that answers your question. Renewables can get a little confusing when you talk about RECs and what you're selling back, but basically the two buckets are pretty handy to say, like, you want to install on site, you got a couple options, or would you rather just do a subscription program? You have a couple options. Okay, and then we have the electric vehicle home charging programs. So a few of these here, one of them is the EV Accelerate at Home. Provides customers with a level 2 charger that Xcel Energy installs and maintains as an option, or customers can use their own eligible charger. And then if you charge overnight the EV at your house, charging will be billed at a lower cost per kilowatt hour. So incentivizing that off-peak charging. Time of day separate meter, you're going to require the customer is required to invest in a separate meter, and then that meter is going to get the lower cost per kilowatt hour for overnight EV charging. So that's something else that they can monitor outside of your residential meter. Another program, Optimize Your Charge, provides an annual bill credit of $50 for charging off-peak. So not a different rate, just an annual credit. And then an EV charger and wiring rebate program. This helps to alleviate the cost of installing a 240-volt circuit or purchasing a level 2 charger if you want that at your house. So you can get a standard $500 rebate for installing a new circuit or charger. And then I guess income qualified customers can actually receive up to $1,200 for doing that charger or wiring installation. That's a few EV charging programs. Who do I contact to discuss the EV charging topics? I can put you in touch with our Partners in Energy Program Manager, Sophia, and she's connected with Krista and I, so we can definitely get you connected to the right person at Xcel Energy. I don't have that person right now, but we'll follow up with Tom's email and then Sophia's, and we can get you to the right person. Yeah. So yeah, that is all of the programs I was sharing with you this evening. Again, there are a lot more, but yeah, kind of just the popular ones, high level, give you a little taste of what is out there. So yeah, we can chat a little bit more with some questions or discussion. Let's see, how secure is the funding for rebates? I'm assuming some of the rebates are coming from federal funds. So actually, the utility rebate funding is very secure. They operate on a triennial basis. So 2024, 25, 26, all the rebates are set. Nothing changes because of the federal levels. So we can count on utility rebates through 2026, and then it'll just be kind of re-upped and reevaluated, and you can still count on them after that. That's when they just sort of change. I don't know, Tom, if you want to talk about that at all.
Yeah, I mean, they're funded by us through rates, but budgets are limited. So if, for example, a big one is maybe like solar rewards, if we deplete all of the funding for 2025, it might get pushed to 2026 and they start a list. So it's not an open checkbook forever. The funds are limited. So if you want to do it as with any rebates with any utility, talk with CEE or talk with the utility, make sure there's funds available, and then start the process of your application for solar, just to make sure that you don't put in a lot of work and then find out they're out of funds. So it's worth a 5-minute phone call.
Yeah, that's helpful. Thanks. Yeah, and then there are looks like somebody's putting in the chat, the federal IRA rebates are more unknown. The tax credits are still pretty reliable. So from the IRA tax credits for different equipment upgrades or electrification or EVs, the IRA rebates were supposed to roll out this year in 2025. Of what I've heard is that they're still going to be. So we just have to keep checking back. Maybe some other folks on this call know more than me, but yeah, lots of incentives and funding hopefully still coming. But utility rebates are still there. Yeah, Jeff, you probably know.
Yeah, I just second that. They're still going strong in that unit for innovation and for those rebates. In fact, they're staffing up as we speak. So yeah, all systems are go, knowing full well that the federal side, we get new information from time to time. But yeah, on the state side, we're just continuing to be there for you.
Thanks for that. Other questions, or I guess to address my question at the beginning, I'm curious if anybody has thoughts just on how the Shoreview community might respond to any of these programs, or if you've like heard rumblings of folks already participating in them, or I think also we're just interested in reaching those income qualified customers too, because we're trying to remove those barriers of cost to participate and those higher rebates. So yeah.
I would like to say that I find this very useful. I had a sales specialist come out this week from a local company to talk about maybe getting a heat pump furnace, and he knew very little about all of this, which didn't make much sense to me because we're talking thousands of dollars, and when a heat pump can run $15,000 or $20,000 depending on how big of a system you get. If I can get an extra $2,000 or $4,000 or $6,000 in rebates and tax credits, that's a game changer. And I was really surprised that he was so ignorant about it.
Yeah, that's a big gap we want to help address. Is it's such a new technology, is helping the workforce development and the contractors really become aware and have it be like that easy as offering a new furnace. We want to offer an air source heat pump. So I know that there are a lot of groups out there that are working on contractor trainings. The Air Source Heat Pump Collaborative is one of them that is working on getting the word out and getting folks trained on how to install them. But that's what we're hearing from a lot of cities is if electrification is important, we got to get the awareness and the education around those new pieces of equipment. Other thoughts or questions?
And people are welcome to contact me afterwards, also if questions pop up after this presentation. All right, well, not seeing any others. Megan and Tom, thank you so much for your time and your knowledge about all of these programs. We really appreciate it. It's great to learn about them, and I know there's a lot you went through, and there's a lot more that we could have talked about too. I think one thing that would be great to mention is all of the offerings through the state and Xcel and federal, those are able to be stacked, correct? They are able to be used together. One doesn't disqualify you for the other. So you're able to get all of those together.
Yep, good call out.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining tonight for our final speaker series of 2025, and stay tuned for next year for another round of speakers when we have those set. All right. Have a good night. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.